Good evening. Once again, we're here with our Kerygma series, and we're still focusing on contending for the faith. Now, tonight, I want to talk about faith being both tactical and practical. We're talking about faith being tactical and practical. First of all, what are we talking about when we say tactical? Tactics. Tactics is actually going to be that actions and strategy. It's the manner in which we array our forces for battle. Tactics is how we attack something, the manner in which we plan to attack something on the battlefield. It's the way we array ourselves, to array our forces to do battle. That's tactics. Now, practical is then the actual doing. How do we practice? It's no longer theoretical when it becomes practical. It's the actual doing of something. So when we talk about faith, we want to approach faith in a manner in which it's understood as being both tactical and practical. And today I want to give you a few things that characteristics of faith being both tactical and practical. First of all, when we are tactical, when we are practical in our faith, you're going to see people walking with integrity. You're going to see people walking with honesty, genuine people. There is no false, no pretense in them. This is a manner of showing faith as a tactic and a practice in your life. You're going to be walking with integrity. You're going to be walking in honesty. You're going to be walking in a genuine way as you interact with God and interact with people around you. Here's the second way to see it, is that we worship, we rejoice. Faithful people are not going to be afraid to place worshiping and rejoicing into action. Those are tactics that we use to show and demonstrate our faith, to array ourselves for battle. This is the way that we actually practice that which we believe. We praise God, and we're not ashamed to praise God. Here's another way. We teach God's truth. And not only do we teach God's truth, we walk in the truth. When we teach God's truth, share God's truth, we also walk in God's truth. This is a practical way to show your faith, and it's also tactical in the large scheme of things. Here's another one, and I've got a few for you. Number 4, you restrain your tongue. Wow. Now that's one that all of us need to consider. When you are practicing, when you're being practical in your faith, we have to have a restrained tongue. It's not whether or not something is true to be said. The question was it necessary to be said? And so it could be true, but is it necessary? If it's not necessary, then there should be some restraint in the use of that tongue. Here's another one. You're going to work and live in righteousness. Our whole lives is going to show, what is righteousness? Righteousness is doing right thing. It's right deeds. It's the acts that we do that's in line with what Christ has called us to do and be. It's the standards given to us by our biblical word. And so when we're talking about righteousness and working and living as righteous people, this demonstrates, this shows that we are faithful. We are contending for the faith. When you walk and you talk and you live as a righteous person of God. And remember, you have to live righteously under the standards that Christ has set, not under the standards that we have set, because our righteousness is as equivalent to a filthy rag. No matter how righteous we believe we are, it's not good enough. It has to be the righteousness as propounded by Jesus Christ. And so that's what makes us faith contenders. That's what makes our faith both tactical and practical. Then we need to model. We have to model that which we know about Jesus Christ. You've heard this, many people who've walked in the Christian walk for a long time, they've heard this, that we are the most Bible that a lot of people are ever going to read. People look at our lives, and the most Bible that many people read is going to be, they're watching you. And when they see you and how you live and how you carry yourself, and they say, okay, that's how Christians do it. That's a lot of what they know of the Christian faith. So it's important that we model that which Christ has left for us. And I'll give you one more, and that is to be humble and gentle. When you're being tactical and practical with your faith, there must be a sense of humility that comes from your life. Listen, none of us have arrived. None of us have made it. And so it's never good to look at the shortcomings or errors of someone else and make judgments of them. You see someone doing wrong, even if they are members of the Christian body, not just those who are not members of the Christian body, even those who are Christians. Everyone has to deal with the fact that we don't do everything right all the time. None of us, not one. None righteous, no, not one. And so we have to be humble. We have to be loving. And we have to do this in such a way that it draws people and make people see that walking with Christ and living with Christ is an attractive thing to do. It's a good thing to do. And we can't do it if we're not humble. If we're way up too high, we won't model this thing the way Christ would want us to do. So tonight, my little vignette for you is to think about faith being both tactical and practical. Actually, I have many more little bullets to give you, and I'll save those for next week. And we'll actually do part 2 of faith being both tactical and practical. Until next time, this is Dr. R.A. Gatewood signing off with you with our Kerygma series.